Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm be reacting to Do We Ever Have Any Free Choice? Free choice. I thought it was free will for some odd reason. Oh, this is quite interesting for me. I've heard both ways. Let me say what I believe, and then I'll spill my rant at the end if I remember. So I do believe we do have free choice, but we don't always exercise the free choice, I believe. This is something that I generally have to think about quite a lot because a lot of people made an argument that we don't ever have any free choice at all. We do not have free will. And it makes sense to a degree of what they say. Let's go on.
He says, this is what Swami Vivekananda says to this question. He says, just as you think you are tied up and you are a limited person, you have to resolve your human condition, you also have the feeling that you got the free will to decide your destiny. So both are apparent. You are actually never tied up. You are never involved in Maya. You are the absolute. You are the Atman. How could you have been involved? But when you feel involved, you also come with one tool that comes naturally, comes easily with you, which is free will. I will resolve my condition. I will resolve my issue. Now the same question was asked by Vijay in a much more dramatic manner last time. And again, this was the first question he fired, and I said, God help us. We are in trouble here. He said, Dilip bhai, everything happens by the will of God. This is what Hinduism keeps singing bhajans. Everything happens by the patta. Then why should we bother? Because everything is happening by the will. We just flow along. Why bother? He asked.
And that is the argument I actually have with certain religion. I mean, not argument I have, but just that's the argument, as in my. Not like I'm fighting with them or anything, not that kind of argument, but just my counter to them, I suppose. If everything's going according to God's plan, then it doesn't matter what you do because you have no free will at that point.
Very blunt question, same question but different language. And you see, again I said, oh, Vivekananda, help. And the answer came very nicely. The answer came, everything happens by the will of God, but don't you realize you are God? So you need to exercise your will. So as long as you feel trapped in the body, you also have the tool that you are going to resolve your problem. You're going to fashion your destiny. You're going to you mold your destiny, choose your destiny. So that comes with it. So to break free from the apparent bondage, you have apparent freedom. Both are apparent, and yet you need both. And you see, you may think, oh, does it mean it's all fuzzy and it's all just illusion? No, illusion is the wrong word. Again, Vivekananda says, wrong word. You see, just as intensely I feel that I am this body, I'm stuck here, with the same intensity I feel I've got the power to fashion my destiny, exercise my will. They both come together. So use both. Until you fly out of this idea that I am this body, that will continue to help you. This idea of free will help you. Never, diminish it or let it become reduced because you are God. Show your will. Exercise your will. This is the lovely of because you are God. You are basically you're saying everything else by the way, but you are God too. Go for it then. Sort yourself out.
Free e-learning course.
Okay, that makes sense in the Hindu sense. The sheer fact that I guess the idea that you are Brahman, so therefore you are God. And again, I guess it does tie in quite well with at least from non-duality, because everyone believes in duality. Wait. Yeah, probably, actually, yes, duality. And because of this duality, you feel like you have no free will because God is ultimately making a choice. But when you have non-duality, then you are God, therefore you have free will and free choice. And I had actually a really good thought on that, and I can't remember now. But it really does work quite well with non-duality. Well, anyways, let me go to my spill rant on free choice. I think I had a pretty large discussion on one of my earlier videos. I can't remember which one it was. But the fact that we don't have any choice at all. We have no free will. And the argument that I've heard that kind of makes sense with that is, it can end here now. It's going to be about free will and me talking about that. The argument I heard about that is that we're deterministic, and to a degree we are. For example, if you like chocolate, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take you, like, if you like chocolate, I'm gonna take you to an ice cream shop that only serves 3 flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. I know what you're gonna pick. And we go to the ice cream shop. It's like, I knew you're gonna pick chocolate. Well, because you like chocolate, you don't like the other flavors. So at that point, you're deterministic, meaning I could predict your outcome because I know you like certain things, or there's certain things that you like that you will pick over others. So in a sense, you are deterministic in that way. Like your favorite food, if you're presented with food, you're going to pick your favorite food more than likely. And the same thing with drinks, clothes. We all have a particular things we gravitate towards. For example, if there was a whole bunch of food out there, maybe maybe your favorite food's not there. Like, oh, how do I know what you're gonna pick now? But based on what you would normally pick otherwise, like if you're presented with all these food too, you always go with dessert or something. And I was like, I knew you were gonna go for dessert, because children usually goes for dessert first. Why not pick the best first? But yeah, so, and also, and that's how they explain determinism, the sheer fact that everything is based on your past experience. So the clothes that you like to wear is based on, like, oh, I wore this clothes and I didn't like it, or why do, like, if you never worn clothes before, then you're like, how was this clothes determined for me? Well, it may be the color. The reason why you picked this gray shirt, gray shirt, is because maybe somewhere in your childhood that gray stood out for you or something, or maybe because you thought it's like, oh, I'm gonna be filming in a dark studio, so whenever you film in a dark studio, you pick a gray shirt or black background. But yes, that's the deterministic way. Now, for how do we say the explanation for free will? From my understanding, is the sheer fact that when you grab a hot pot, you let go immediately. Although it's a reaction too, and you basically you react, you act your animal instinct, which is to preserve yourself. You don't want to cause harm to yourself, and nothing harm. You try to shoo away harm. And when you grab a hot pot, you'll drop it because it's hot and it's burning you. But if there's someone underneath there, like your child or someone that you love, you probably will hold on for a little bit longer and try to push it away to not cause any more harm to anyone around you, especially if it's someone that you care about. If you don't care about it, you probably just drop it. But if you do care about it, you'll probably hold on to it a lot longer and move it away somewhere else. So that's where free will comes into play. And how does I never heard a kind of argument for determinism for that. But merely, I guess, deterministic would be that let's say that I guess it will probably deal with, of course, that is someone that you love. So knowing that that's someone that you love, you would protect them, whether it be holding that pot or pushing them out the way or whatever it may be. But I feel that we have somewhere in the middle, that we are instinctual, deterministic, and somewhat free-willed. Because we can at one day say, I had too much chocolate, this time I'll try vanilla. But that's being deterministic because the sheer fact, because you had so much chocolate, now you want to try something else different. So it's hard to get away from determinism, but it's hard to know how you're being deterministic, because there's no way to predict that. You may be deterministic, but it seems like free will, because again, like the chocolate, I love chocolate, I'm gonna eat chocolate, but because I ate chocolate all this week and then you decided to treat me out, and all of a sudden I switch it up on you saying, oh, I like vanilla then, and you're like, whoa, you're supposed to pick chocolate. It's like, yeah, but I had chocolate all this week. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. It's deterministic now that you were going to pick vanilla because that's your second favorite or second choice if you had to pick 3 or out of the 3. And due to the fact that you've had all this chocolate before, now you're deterministic to pick something else other than chocolate because your tolerance for chocolate is it's maxed out and you want to go somewhere else. So again, I do believe that we are deterministic based on our past history, because I guess that goes well with karma to a degree, but not in the sense of reincarnation, but just in this life alone, that you have whatever experiences you've had, your actions you've had will in a sense be deterministic of what you will do in the future. If you had good experiences, one thing, you will continue to do that. If you had bad experience, you will try not to do that. And how do we have free will? Because we can ultimately make a choice, and most of the time we are biased on everything, on what we say, on our choosings, because how do I say, it's hard to say we have complete free will, but I like to believe we have free will, because what your choice on what you're going to have or whatever it is determined on how you feel, what you're craving, and generally what you feel and what you're craving will be determined by what you've experienced in the past. For example, if you started craving soda and then you realize, oh man, I really like Coke, and you're like, oh, I want Coke now. Probably right now, if I talked about ice cream or some kind of food or drink or beverage that you like to drink a lot, like Coke, Pepsi, or chocolate ice cream or coffee or tea, you're probably craving that right now. Because and is that free will? Did you have that free choice that that's what you wanted? Maybe, maybe not. Anyways, that's my reaction to, do we ever have free choice? If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.